Okay, moving on. The solar plexus chakra. So you can imagine it all works in stages, and yet it's also cyclical. As we get to the top, you'll also sometimes find you need that to get back to the bottom, and so, but you have to start somewhere. So we'll go from bottom to top. So the solar plexus chakra is corresponding to the element fire. So imagine it as your digestive fire, where it's going to want to keep burning, and you want to keep the fire stoked. Okay, that's why we want to build a core, so we are strong. It's our center of power. It's also a very strong one in today's world because of all the male energy we have going with the ego and the way our economic structure is organized, and political structure is organized. It's very much about coming from this personal power part. So for women, many of us need to nurture this part and bring it forth. For men, we may have to dial it back a little bit. And I don't want to make it a gender issue. It's just a very general statement. There are some men who need to, you know, nurture their ego, and some women who need to dial back, right? So think of having enough confidence to now implement the creative ideas you've come up with in your sacral chakra that you could come up with only when you were nice and stable and grounded, with no fear and no sort of like worry about your survival, right? So ask yourself, what is my level of aggression? Okay, and violence, aggressive behavior comes from an over expression of this chakra. We want to find a nice balance. Anger can be a good quality if it prompts us to action for the solution of what we're angry about. And it's also useful when it wakes people up, right? Some people are so dull to the senses that they need to be like almost pushed into a corner to get angry, and then they burst out. There's a healthy way of dealing with anger, and so balancing this chakra is all part of it. But also you want to understand that it then goes back down into your sacral chakra, where you have to release your emotions. So another question to ask yourself, am I easily manipulated? Okay, do you live life as a victim? Is everything happening to you? Is there always someone else to blame? Is your life just never going to be perfect because things, no matter what you do, don't go right, you know? That's like the victim mentality, right? And it all stems from an nourishment of your solar plexus chakra. So do I have weak digestion? We want to make sure that we are really nurturing our digestive fire here. And as a side note, that's also why we love our essential oils, because I'm also a nutrition consultant, and while I don't like to tell people what to eat, because food is so sacred to your body, every one of us need to develop a really sacred relationship with food and really understand what we need at any one time, which is so hard. But anyway, just taking a drop of Digest Vitality to help your enzymes, taking some or all of the enzyme supplements that Young Living has created for us is so important. And just the ability for essential oils to help our body absorb nutrients is a real game changer. Definitely a game changer. Other questions to ask yourself for the solar plexus chakra: what do I think of myself? what is your self-esteem here? So it has to do with your self-esteem, your thoughts about, you know, how worthy you are. Are you worthy? So many of us go through that, myself included. Am I worthy? Okay, am I overly competitive, right? So if you think about our current world structure, it's very competitive. It's very much like a pyramid where most of us are down here. We're all competing to get to the top. We step on each other. We jab each other out of the way. It reminds me of the Japanese train stations in the subway. Early morning, if you're not competitive, you don't get on the train. And they push each other away. They get in there and they're like, you know, the door is literally closing on them and they are pushing on the door to get into the train so that the doors can shut right in front of their nose. Anyway, are you overly competitive? And the world structure that many of you know, maybe people who are like-minded, who are attracted to Young Living, see this ecological structure of a circle where we are all connected, we are all part of the whole. What we do affects others. We lift each other up. We really sort of nurture each other and understand that all of us are worthy. We're all worthy. We don't have to fight each other to get to the top because we are here for a reason, and our success, if you will, is that fulfillment of that soul's calling, and it's going to happen for us, and it's going to be easy and with grace when we surrender to that. And it's not about having to stab someone else in the back to get there. Never, 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 never. Okay, so the next question, do I see myself as being in control or being the victim? So same thing, right? Do I feel anxious often? So sometimes control freak feels anxious because they can't control the situation. And so anxiety comes, and stress comes from this expectation we have of how the situation should turn out. And it doesn't turn out that way, and so we're stressed out and we're anxious and we are having panic attacks. All of that is having to nurture our solar plexus chakra. Okay, so let's get on with it. Okay, the affirmations is, I use my personal power with purpose every day. Okay, we all are powerful. We're so much more powerful than we think. And you're a recovering control freak. I know, me too. Oh, and I think we all are, right? We think that's how we can survive in this world, and we've been taught that right from the start. Sort of like, you snooze, you lose. Other affirmations. I make decisions every day that is in alignment with my goals. I like the idea that life is just a series of choices, and the choices you make will either take you towards your goal or away from it. It will either take you towards love or fear. Okay, so let love guide your choices, not fear. And we've already dealt with fear, right, in our root chakra. So you should be all good in your solar plexus chakra. Just have the confidence to move forward with what you've already nourished. So next one, I am worthy of all good things. Tell yourself that. Look yourself in the mirror. Just, I don't know, 30 seconds a day. Look right into your own eye. Say, I am worthy of all good things. Say it all throughout that 30 seconds. I am worthy of all good things. I let go of what is not in my control. Okay, if that is your issue, say that to yourself. I let go of what is not in my control. I release judgment of myself and others. So I didn't mention earlier, but this is also all that judgment. Just because of ego, it makes us feel either superior or inferior, right? And either of those makes us judge. It's either you know, we are superior, therefore we say, how stupid is that, right? Why can't they get it? Or why are they doing that? Oh, I could run the world better, whatever. We're judging. Instead, we can take that energy and do something good. Or we're looking at someone below us and saying, or what we perceive is below us, and saying, oh no, above us, right? And saying, yeah, it's all their fault that I'm here. They are so powerful, and yet they don't see me as someone who they should help. And I am in poverty because, you know, they're too busy siphoning money from whatever, the corporation or the organization, to think of me, this little person here, I need your money, whatever, right? Okay, let go of that. So, the essential oils, that's what we're here for. Number one, humility. So, I totally believe that we're all powerful, and we're powerful in our humility. Absolutely. We do not need to be boastful or we do not need to be powerful in the sense of this world where we have the biggest car or the biggest loudspeaker, whatever it is, right? Or the biggest audience in front of us, or the nicest body, or you know, the most muscles, whatever it is. Humility. I love humility. And next is energy. I really like the concept that we are here to manage our energy and not time. Okay, so think about that. How many times have you heard people say, I don't have the time for that, I have too much on my plate? Yes, I know I'm meant to do this, but right now I have this other thing going on. So the point is, when we manage our energy levels, so energy is, I mean, all of this is energy, right? Essential oils is energetic. Yoga is all about aligning our energy centers. That's what chakras are all about. So managing the energy really gets you to the root of how to live your life 5 minutes at a time, making choices that lead you to really live your purpose. Okay, so energy. And then transformation. Think about the oils for your solar plexus chakra as spicy oils and oils that wake you up. You want to be woken up. You want to be given this sort of punch in your gut. You know, where does that phrase come from, right? Punch in your gut to sort of get you going, get you moving, but moving towards your own purpose. Okay, transformation. So I have a 16-year-old son, and I read somewhere that a great oil to diffuse is transformation. So I love this. And then, oh, this says spirit wings, but spirit wings is motivation. They just named it that in Japan. I don't know why. So I chose motivation because we all need that motivation to really just move forward. You have to move forward with your decisions or nothing gets done. And there is a real so let me just preface this by saying it's all a paradox. Life is a paradox. Spiritual growth is a paradox. There is motivation, but there's also too much, right? There's action, but there's also being. So we'll see the connection later. Okay, so let's just choose energy. And the poses here, you can imagine, are real core building poses and also twists, because you want to kind of get your body all into this twist, and then you want to release all that new energy and new and let the toxins flow out. So I've got energy. I'm gonna breathe it in, maybe say one of my affirmations, and I'm gonna say, I let go of what is not in my control, right? So I'm managing my own energy. I'm not managing other people or time. I can't control time. I can't control what other people do, but I can control what I do based on my own alignment of my energy. And then I'm gonna put that here. Okay, so one of the twists we can do is just very simply crossing your legs, making sure your foot is nice and planted. And I'm just gonna twist here, and then the other side. So that's gonna give me really nice massage of my internal organs. And the chair pose is really nice for working your core. It actually works also your muscles here, but you're gonna twist here as well. You can twist and twist the other side. And one of the things we learned in aroma yoga is called the ha breath. And it's very simply your feet wide, hands out, and you're gonna do this 10 times. As you inhale, you cross your fingers to the front and you come off your heels. And as you exhale, you're gonna open up your arms, come forward and go ha. And it's just a fun exercise where you do that 10 times and you feel, you're gonna shout as loud as you can, ha, activating your energetic power. And then you will close your eyes after the 10th time, hold on to your solar plexus, and just feel your whirling vortex right there. It's amazing. So think of twists, think of core poses like maybe the boat, right? You want to have a really nice long spine here. You can play with straightening your legs or do one leg at a time. Just practice strengthening your core. Of course, plank is a good one too. And if you do plank, you really want to make sure your wrists are parallel to the front of the mat. Your fingers are wide and your shoulders right above your wrists. And then you can practice lifting up your leg up on top. So really activating your core. You can stay there for a few minutes at a time, just working on that. Okay.